Take a lane.
Welcome into the DNVR Avalanche Podcast, presented by DraftKings Sportsbook. Use code DNVR when you sign up for a new account to get amazing odds boosts every single day. AJ, Rudo, and Blaze coming to you live as the Avs lose Game 1 of Round 1 against the Kraken 3-1. I don't think there's any two ways around it. It was a very disappointing game from Colorado. You expected them to come out in the playoffs, try and make a statement, show their best hockey, and they didn't play anywhere close to their best. It was pretty poor.
Yeah, man, it just wasn't a well played game by them at all.
No two things about it for sure.
You look at two of the three goals that Seattle scores, and they're entirely
their own creation
of Colorado's own monster there.
Yep.
So,
and there could have been more. I mean, there was a lot of passes to the other team's stick tonight.
what's funny is that you say there could have been more, and it's like, yeah, which team are you talking about? Because
the Avs hit multiple posts.
yeah,
tonight.
I mean, as bad as it was at times in Colorado's own zone, like they're like a combined 7 inches from having a 4-goal night. Like, they don't execute, they don't get it done
for sure.
And Philip Grubauer outplays Alexander Georgiev in Game 1, and like that's where you are.
Yeah.
These two teams, based on how they played tonight, earned the results that they got.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Hard agree. We'll do a 60-second rundown for you. The start was bad. Colorado did not come out and look like the better team. It looked like Seattle, and then an egregious turnover from Devon Toews makes it 1-0. The Avs do get that goal back. I do think they looked quite a bit better in the second half of the first period. A nice passing play. McKinnon finds Mikko Rantanen on the back door. It's 1-1. And then the Avs just kind of never really put it together. Really struggled to even do things like make 2 passes in a row. You saw a lot of poor decision-making. You had a handful of players that were really struggling tonight, which we'll get into. And Seattle just kind of steadily marched them down, picking up a goal in the second period off of Georgiev. Not his best work on that goal. And then another egregious play of puck management in the third period to make it 3-1. And that was your final. I don't even need the full 60. It's tough. Let's start here. I think everyone knows that the Avs are capable of playing better than they did in this game. Because we've seen it.
Yeah, I mean, look, let's just start with where we thought, when we've been previewing the series,
sure.
Where we have Colorado having the advantage, and where that was tonight, because
I think all 3 places you could argue they have the advantage were worse tonight than Seattle was.
Yeah, and I'm primarily talking, your star power here.
Sure.
Needs to be star power. Like, you need to go out there. Like, yeah, you're not going to win a postseason series without contributions from other guys.
Of course,
you need other things. And the one goal that they give you is a nice backdoor play that they got lucky on.
Yep.
That Rantanen whiffs on,
goes off his skate,
and goes off his skate and goes in. Like, they got lucky there for the one goal. But for the rest of the night, that line just was not nearly good enough. And it makes me wonder, like, where I would start. My first adjustment is I'm flipping Evan Rodriguez with one of Val Nichushkin or Artturi Lehkonen.
Sure.
Now, this is just me beating a dead drum at this point because I've been hard against the Lehkonen-Nichushkin combination for a long time now.
Yep.
But your second line was nothing.
Just unimpactful.
It didn't do a damn thing for you. And the one really good scoring chance that it created, with Comfort getting in and then Val Nichushkin totally botching the rebound. I mean, Val Nichushkin, man, oh my God. One of 3 Avs that you can look at tonight and say it's almost impossible
to have played worse.
to expect Val Nichushkin, Josh Manson, or Devon Toews to play worse than they did tonight.
Yep.
They were horrific tonight.
Yeah. And not everyone's going to bring their best game every night, but I don't think a single player on the Avs would tell you they played their best game tonight. So it's just really, really hard to come away with a win when you show up and play like that.
Yeah.
And look, if they play like that again, yeah, you have a huge problem. But I don't expect them to. play
No,
like
for
that
one-
again.
I don't think there was an effort thing tonight.
No, I don't think it was effort either.
I don't think it was.
execution.
Yeah, I think it
exactly.
was. I think they played like. I thought they played poorly. I didn't. This did not look like a lazy hockey team to me. It just
No.
looked like an out of sync one.
Yep.
I mean, you even look at it and you saw the reads happening. They just weren't connecting, or things were just not clicking.
Yeah.
Well, it's not like the Avs gave up a bunch of goals because they got in on the battles and lost them. It was the Avs gave up a bunch of goals because they got the puck and then gave it away. So,
I do like what you were talking about, putting Lucky up on the top line, because that's your poor man Landeskog up there. Like, I think that's a good replacement for that line, and I think that helps them just gel a little bit more. Like, why not try it right now when this is happening?
And I don't even have like a preference there. Lehkonen or Nichushkin, I don't care.
Sure.
I would start with Lehkonen, but I don't really care.
Yeah.
They have the same style of game. They do the same things. So I'm, for me, I'm just, I think I would just start with that lineup tweak there, and then, check on your health.
Yeah.
well,
Is Andrew Cogliano or Darren Helm ready for game 2? Because if they are, you didn't see a whole lot from Ben Myers tonight.
nope.
You didn't really, to be honest with you, didn't really see a whole lot from a guy like Matt Nieto either. I mean, he smoked Jordan Eberle once, and that was kind of it.
As far as effective play with the puck, Eller is the only one that I think had some semi-consistent puck touches for them in the bottom six.
I mean, Alex Newhook
Malgin was okay, but he didn't play very much.
Alex Newhook
I
touched
don't
the
know if
puck
I
a little
agree,
bit,
but-
and Malgin is one where you're like, what's he still nursing?
Yeah.
Knowing that he was hurt over the last week, and how much is the ice time dictated by? Are they not comfortable with it, or I didn't think he was. I guess I just
He didn't
really
hurt
have,
the Avs. I thought he had some good shifts, like where
I didn't really
you
have like
noticed
a
him.
strong Malgin
No,
opinion tonight. I just,
I
Out of
just-
this game, there's nobody that you're going to be like, there's
And
a
that's-
strong.
The thing with Mulligan is like you're not really getting much out of him if he's not being effective in the offensive zone.
Yeah.
And the problem is the vast majority of the Avs lineup wasn't effective in the offensive zone.
yeah.
So
Yeah, and I've talked a lot over the last month about playing connected hockey, and this was just not it.
Yep.
From the back end moving forward, and you do talk about, hey, it sounds like something happened with Jack Johnson, who the official lineup that they sent out for the
had
game
Jack
had
Johnson
Jack Johnson
in it.
which is why we talked about him during the pregame, and Jack Johnson had pretty, in my eyes, pretty cleanly outplayed Eric Johnson over the last few weeks of the season. You put Eric Johnson in there, and Eric Johnson's problems all continue.
yep.
Yeah.
I want to get to that first. I want to get to the defenseman on the first goal. Not just the first goal itself, which is a horrible turnover from Devon Toews, but it's just one of the worst games I've seen Devon Toews play in his time in Colorado, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, the turnover is bad, and I was talking to Blaze about this after the first period. If you go back and watch it, the turnover is bad, but where's the help there?
Sure.
Because if you look at that camera angle from behind the net, he has no forward to pass to.
And we'll talk about this on all of the goals, I think.
Yeah, and this is where I'm talking about playing connected hockey, though, is that your forwards, you're looking at it, he has to make kind of the home run play that he tries to make to Evan Rodriguez, or he has to just rim it around the wall. Because the forwards are not providing him with the proper outlet.
Yeah.
The forecheck comes in hard on him, and he has to make a decision. He can't make that decision, obviously.
Right.
Yeah. He can't make that decision.
Yep.
It is horrific puck management. Like, horrific.
Yep.
But you need to give him options. It's mistakes like that don't happen in a vacuum. It's not like he missed that, right?
Absolutely.
You go and look at the options. You look at his outlet options, and they aren't there.
They flew the zone.
And you can break that down all you want. My problem isn't, Tays made one really bad play. It's that all night.
Oh, dude, no, this
Yeah,
is
he
true.
was bad.
This is true. Well, I was holding it to the one goal, but there's no doubt, dude. Devon Toews this was a massive disappointment given the expectations that he has.
Yep.
And given that he's been healthy and playing and part of all this, just disappointing.
Yeah. And we'll talk about the guys at the bottom of the barrel, and then we'll talk about the rest of the team as well, because there are two different levels here. Again, in the first period, the Avs had the opportunity. They took the opportunity to get themselves back into this game. Sure, Mikko gets a little bit lucky. They still created a quality offensive play.
Yeah, it's great play.
And then they just weren't able to replicate that for the rest of the game.
What's frustrating is that immediately after they score that goal, the ice completely tilts.
It tilts the other way.
And the Avs just go hard.
Yep.
It's wave after wave. They're vibing, they're pushing. The Avs take a penalty, it ends.
Yep. And credit their penalty kill. It did a good job tonight.
Yeah. Penalty kill does the job.
Josh Manson, 1, okay. 2, come on. You can't be taking multiple penalty games in the playoffs.
He could have been called for more too. If you watch some of his play,
I believe it. Yeah.
Coming off of his stick, he was clutch and grabbing because I think he's starting to get back into this game.
Yeah.
He's just a step behind right now.
Yeah.
You can give it. Look, he's played 27 games this year.
Yeah.
Like you can. He has. It's not like he played a bunch of games and then he got hurt.
No,
played a handful of games.
Again,
he got hurt. It's his first game back. Like,
yeah,
that's the one guy that you're looking at, and you're like, and maybe McCarr.
They're pass for those guys.
Where you're looking at, hey, like you were excited that your defense was coming back, but
maybe not ready yet.
Yeah, and when we talked about the end of the year, like you'd love to get them into a game for this reason.
Yeah.
For sure.
They could have done all this dicking around against Nashville and still won that game.
And okay.
But even if you're being really generous and being like he's getting the timing back, it was a bad night for Josh Manson.
Yep.
It's a bad night for Devon Toews. It's a bad night for Josh Manson.
And this is where the defensive house of cards falls apart, right? Because you have to put Eric Johnson in the game.
Right.
And at this point, it just is what it is with EJ. It was very obvious all night that the legs just couldn't keep up. And it's just not good.
Well, it's just those years of hard play are catching up to him. It happens to everybody. You slow down. Your hips don't turn like they used to. You can't open up as quick anymore.
Yeah, and he was fine earlier this year as in the third pairing role.
Yep.
When he got back from injury, it never got going.
Yeah.
Well, and
he looked just phically like he couldn't keep up. And then tonight they
turnstiled him left and right.
He loses multiple foot races to a puck in the corners 3 feet away from him. He just can't get it going anymore.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's not only that he can't get it going. I think at times tonight you saw he hasn't shifted into the mindset of that's how his legs are functioning.
Yeah.
And he's trying to play a puck in a way of where his legs could still get him there.
Absolutely.
And dudes are just skating right by him. And it sucks.
But they have one of the best defenses in the league.
Yep.
We were counting on Jack Johnson playing over Eric Johnson because we knew Eric Johnson had this problem.
Yep.
And second, when Devon Toews and Josh Manson play terrible games, they play terrible games.
If Josh Manson and Devon Toews play even their B game tonight, it looks entirely different.
Yeah,
you're not looking at this.
Two of those goals probably just don't happen.
You're not looking at this game going, "Oh man, the Avs are in trouble." You're like, "Oh man, the Avs shit the bed tonight."
Yeah, they played awful.
They did not do what they're supposed to do in this game.
The way I would put it to you is, if you think this is the best the Avs have in the playoffs, don't tune in. Don't tune in to the rest of this year.
Yeah, for sure. If you think this is who they are, then they aren't going far.
Yeah.
They're done.
Yeah,
in
they will
5
be.
games.
They will be done within the next week, and we'll be on vacation.
Yeah, exactly. So
I personally, this is their first regulation loss in like 3 weeks.
And is this game terrible? Absolutely. But
it's a huge letdown. It's a huge letdown.
If you've watched this team this year, I don't know how you can think that this is their best.
No, and go ahead.
Go ahead. Do you think?
I was just going to say, the other thing that you can see is there's a lot of tape to watch because there's a lot of corrections that they can do against the Kraken to generate more chances, because the Kraken did some really good stuff in front of Philip Grubauer, but it can be exploited.
Yep.
It was fine.
They kept the puck. The rebounds, they got him out of harm's way real quick.
You watch them pack the box heavily and late in this game.
And I mean, when you live and die by, we're going to try and control the rebounds, you're going to die by it on some nights.
Yeah.
So
they got lucky too, right? So those pucks that did slip out from their defense, man.
Yeah.
They got, McKinnon hits a guy in the shin on a wide open net.
Hits a guy on a shin, hits a post. Bo Byram hits a post.
Yeah.
And okay, you get a bad night from your defense as a whole.
Yeah.
Sure. You can, that's not good, but maybe something you can overcome. But then you get into your forward core as well. And you can start with Val Nichushkin where, okay, maybe he's not 100%. Maybe the skating isn't fully back.
He's played great the last 3 weeks.
One, that, and two, his hands aren't injured. We watched just pucks float away from this guy the entire game.
Yeah.
Just not good enough. Can he do better? Yes. Will he do better? I certainly would expect better. And now you have everything stacking up, right? Because you didn't really get, McKinnon I thought was okay tonight.
Yeah.
Mikko really did not play very well despite being the goal scorer.
Yeah. And our king of the game.
Yeah, no kidding. Let's just get that out of the way if we have it, because we had to give king of the game to somebody.
Yeah. Didn't get shut out, so that guy gets our king of the game.
Woo! That's about the gist of it for that one. It's not a good night to give anyone king of the game, to be honest with you. So, you have enough players having a bad night that things fall apart to the point where it's now not a few players having a bad night. It's the whole team, as AJ has been saying, playing disconnected hockey. And you're just not going to win hockey games like that.
Yeah.
You're just not. I don't think it's that complicated. On that note, look, you need the Avs to have a better offense. You need them to come prepared. Some would say they need to get up for the playoff games.
Oh, Lord.
If you need a little bit of help getting up the same way the Avs do, make sure you're ready. Roman ready. Go to ro.co/DNVR today. You can order whatever products you need. Roman is just here to make sure you're taking care of your sexual health as a man. You can get, if you need help with something like ED, they can take care of you there. They have wipes that make you last 4 times longer.
Why do you keep gesturing at me?
I'm generally
happening?
I'm not gesturing at you.
What's going on here? Do you know something I don't?
Look, AJ,
Yeah,
I mean,
AJ.
when's the last time
What's
you got
going
it up,
on?
bud?
I mean, it's true, man. It's true.
Either way, Roman has you covered, and really, you can just get a screening with them. You get a free consultation. They'll take a look at you. They just want to make sure, again, that you're healthy. If you have low T, that's something they can help with too. So it's just about taking care of yourself more than it is anything else. Again, it's ro.co/DNVR to get over with Roman today. Get your screening. They'll deliver whatever packages you might need in discreet packaging right to your front door. So it'll come right to you, and then you'll be good to go to play better in the bedroom than the Avs played in this hockey game.
Nice. Got him.
I feel like it's a pretty low bar, to be honest.
Bam.
Also brought to you by Illegal Pete's. Look, you just had a bang and bang sesh. Make sure you fill up your belly with some Illegal Pete's.
All right.
That way, your belly's filled in all aspects.
Yikes.
Go check out Illegal Pete's. There's 10 different locations in Colorado. They also have happy hour from 3 to 6 p.m. A great place to pregame for the DNVR bar. If you're coming down for some of these playoff games, Illegal Pete's can be a delicious pickup. Get some margaritas. You'll be good to go. Check them out here in Colorado. There's also one location in Arizona if you happen to be there. Second period of the DNVR Avalanche Podcast presented by DraftKings Sportsbook. I don't think Georgiev played terribly tonight.
Yeah, I don't either.
But you look at that second goal and you kind of just go, woof.
Yeah, I mean, the second one is the one that you really have a problem there with. The first one, he makes the initial save, and then it's kind of like, what the hell is that? You want to talk about rebounds, man, and like just getting one?
Yep. Off of a great blocker save initially.
Yeah,
from
he makes
Georgiev.
the initial save, and it's really good, and then it's not.
Yep, just didn't matter.
The second goal, though, I
Goes
mean,
right back to his stick. Like,
yeah,
Yeah.
you're done for after that.
it's great.
Yeah.
Like, I would love that kind of puck luck, man.
But, you don't love to see your goalie just not get across and fall over.
Yeah, so in the second goal, like, that's really all it is, dude. He loses his balance. He's fucking falling down as the shot gets released. You go back and watch the replay,
Yep.
you'll see him.
Just tilt forward.
Yeah, he's
and
tilting
yeah.
over to his side as the shot is being released, and you're just like, well,
Yeah, I thought it was like a pad malfunction or something that
Yeah.
happens, because that what happens to goalies. Like when they just kind of roll out
Could
of their
even
pad.
be, man. I mean, you could even go back and
Or just like a sticky spot. You know what
yeah,
I mean?
like any of that. I mean, he just goes down. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
Like if this isn't a regular season game, that's the funniest goal you give up all year.
Well,
in a playoff game, you're like, dude, come on.
Well, because you've seen him all year with like that rebound, and he just moves over to that, and it's routine. And to not see it happen tonight, it's just disheartening when it's in the playoffs.
And you know, let's not kid ourselves. That's not the only problem on this play. Seattle gets a 3-on-2 because Val Nichushkin just falls over up the ice. So you want more from Georgiev there, but you also continue to look at Colorado and let's face it, they just did not play the way you expect Colorado to play when they're playing quality hockey.
Yep.
It's a team that isn't getting out of their own zone effectively. It's a team that isn't taking the space in the offensive zone effectively. You look at that and you don't go, oh no, this is just Colorado and they're just bad. You go, this is not what I expect from the Colorado Avalanche.
Yeah.
So it's easy for me to see how exactly they can play better. They still have to go out and do it, though.
100%. And it's got to start inside of that locker room.
Yep.
From the players understanding what just took place tonight. And we've seen the answers this year when there's been bad games from the Avalanche. And you hope that continues moving forward now.
Definitely.
Yeah. And, you know, there's a reason they play the games, because the Avs could play 4 games in a row that look like this one. And then everyone will sit here and go, yeah, the Avs deserve to lose.
Yep.
So I'm just not expecting the Avs to play another game this series, maybe this entire playoffs, that was as bad as this one.
Can we talk about how crazy it is that every home team lost tonight
All
in the
four.
playoffs?
It's so weird.
All 4.
Well, and not only that, but you're also
All the high seeds of the
all
West.
home teams
Yep.
lost in the West.
Yeah.
Every single game was won by a road team. So all the people who are like, oh, the Avs are done. The Avs can't do this. The Avs can't do that.
Is Dallas done?
Are all those other series also
Is
finished?
Vegas done?
Like, I'm just curious. Is there the
Is
same
Edmonton
the same
done?
confidence in the Winnipeg Jets smoking Vegas every night as there apparently is that the Avalanche are bad? It's just a weird thing when you're a fan of a team, how quick you are to give up on them.
Yeah.
Well, it's just, I mean, it's because you're so hyper focused on that team, right? Like you don't, unless you watch the other games, like go out and watch. You're like, oh right,
This
like
is the thing that I've
it's still
tried to
hockey.
encourage people to do.
Oh, absolutely.
Because
should.
when you get like super upset, you think that all this stuff only ever happens to your team, and don't realize like this is all very normal hockey things that sometimes they just happen.
I mean, look at what happened to Toronto tonight.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, and like I would say, oh, what does it do? Nobody believes in Toronto now, and the
like,
answer would be,
well,
the answer would be like, yeah, I'm out, man. I'm out. I'm hard out. I'm never doing it again. I said last year I was never buying into Toronto again, and I bought all the way in this year. I did.
I faded them.
I'm a
in my
moron,
bracket.
man.
Yeah.
I bought in,
The
but
difference,
it's also just like one game.
well, and
So we'll see. We'll see.
and if
I have
you
no
want-
idea.
the difference between the Avs and Toronto is the
They
Avs
did this
literally
thing.
just did this. Toronto has a track record of not doing this. So it's weird to me that you would jump to the same conclusions about these teams. But in tonight's game, yeah, sucked.
Yeah.
I really don't have any better way to put it than yeah, it sucked. Josh Manson, not just the penalties tonight, the third goal of the game. Is it a tough bounce? Maybe. But to watch him,
What's a weird bounce, and then he doesn't react
he
to
just
it.
takes
You
himself
know,
completely
he just,
out of the
"Olé!"
play. Yeah.
Like, dude, we don't need the Matador, all right? If you wanted that, Curtis McDermott's been there all year.
And you watch the play just fall apart from there as EJ just cannot get involved in the play on the backside of it. And the puck ends up in the back of your net again.
Was he involved? Was EJ on both of the second and third goal?
It was definitely the third.
Is that the one I'm thinking of, where he's just kind of in no man's land between the pass?
I think so. Okay. I don't
We're
remember.
about to
Go
see the
back and
second
watch
goal
it.
here.
Yeah, it's about to
watch
show
it.
up.
Yeah.
Avs have to score their first goal on this highlight reel first. But it's too many guys making too many mistakes. And,
Yep.
and I
Well,
said it.
and you're talking about like key guys here too. It's
Yeah.
not Logan O'Connor
Right.
and Lars
Right.
Eller, you know, like you're not talking about those guys killing you. You're talking about Devon Toews just gives a puck away.
Yeah, Manson and Bo.
Yeah, that was Manson and Bo, so it was that third goal.
Well, and I don't love how far away Bo is.
Bo's just not really covering anything.
Yeah,
there.
it's just bad. It's just bad spacing.
Yep.
But again, that's an easy save if your goalie isn't literally falling down.
Yep. And,
So,
and
yeah, whatever.
and a game like this piles up on you quickly, right? Because if one of the Avs shots that hits the post goes in, this game looks completely different. But the Avs didn't get those to go.
There it is.
On top of the multiple issues in the defensive zone for them,
There's an overcommitment.
it just doesn't look good. Well, what's the read by EJ? If he sees Josh
you see what
Manson
I'm saying?
going
He's on
back
the
there,
back post.
yeah.
No
he's
one's
on-
there.
Manson's committing behind the net, which is bad, but then EJ also commits that side. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just not good. Maybe the one bright spot is as you said, AJ, your bottom six didn't lose you this game.
I guess.
They didn't win it for you either.
I
But
don't think they were bad, man. Like,
Yeah.
I just, Lars Eller I thought was fine. A lot of people in here hating on Lars Eller.
I
Is weird
don't
to me.
understand the Eller hate
I
tonight.
thought Alex
yeah.
Newhook was fine. I thought there were moments from Logan O'Connor's. It's
Yep.
fine. You can argue it's not good enough. I think that's just true for your roster.
Yeah,
But for me,
picking
like,
out your bottom six on a night where no
Well,
one was good enough is
yeah,
a weird
And it
take.
starts with the top guys, right? Like
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
the playoffs, right? They set the tempo. They set what's going to happen throughout the game. And when that tempo is not there, it's hard for the bottom six to do anything as well. Like sometimes they do. Sometimes they rescue the top six by getting it started. But you can't rely on your bottom six to
be those guys.
to be those guys night in.
If they
night
were,
out.
they'd be your top six.
yeah.
Exactly.
It's kind of how it works.
Yeah, and let's be honest here. You're expecting you need 2 goals a night out of Nathan McKinnon and Mikko Rantanen, like your top line. You one at even strength.
One
on the power
You
play.
got 2 opportunities to get yourself back in this game on the power play, and the
Yeah,
Avs
you
didn't
don't do
take
shit.
advantage of either of them.
Yeah, you don't do shit with it.
Yep. So you just need better. On that note, we are brought to you by the folks over at Fubo TV. I know it's a pain to watch these games because the early games go forever, and then they drop the puck late, and then they drop the puck and don't put it on ESPN.
I know, right?
With Fubo TV, you can watch it on altitude. You won't miss a second of the game. It's easy life. You actually get pre-games. You actually get all of that stuff, but you can watch our pre-game, so you're good there. Either way, Fubo it's the easiest way to watch the Avs. You can click. You can take a picture of the QR code there. Go to FuboTV.com/DNVR. You can order today. You get 15% off your first month of Fubo there. And you have the Avs. You have 140 total channels, so it's just like having cable, basically. It's right on your TV. You can just click the app. You're watching TV. Easy. Avs are on it. What more do you need? Also brought to you by Breckenridge Brewery, the official beer of DNVR. 8 different kinds on tap down here at the bar. Also everywhere. All 50 states are covered by Breck Brew now, even Hawaii. So you can get it.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is kind of sick.
Yeah.
Even in Hawaii, if you're
Thinking if I'm out in Hawaii,
on vacation, sipping a Breck Brew on the beach.
I'll tell you, if I'm in Hawaii, I'm definitely not drinking a beer that I have access to every day.
That's fair. It's fair. But go get your Breck Brew. Make it your everyday beer. Go to breckbrew.com. Use the Breck Beer Locator to find it near you. Third period of the DNVR podcast presented by DraftKings Sportsbook.
Look, man, if the Avs blow this like Chad thinks, we could be in Hawaii next week.
True.
I won't be drinking Breck Brew, but it could be at least be there.
I don't have the money to go to Hawaii on a whim.
It's true. You bought a house instead. Sucker.
House poor.
Avs feeling a little house poor right now. They got to get at least one at home, yeah?
Yeah, of course.
Oh yeah.
You don't go down 2-0, man.
Yep.
The number of teams that come back from 2-0 and win series, it's just not very high.
It's very low. It is very low, top to bottom. And I think you should expect a better put together team coming into game 2. is solely on the fact that the Avs don't execute this poorly very often.
Yeah, they don't play games this poorly that often. True enough, is what it is.
Yep.
They didn't play very well. They deserve to lose. They lost.
Yep. You lost home ice advantage.
Yeah.
You got to go back and
Now
win
you got to go get it back. Which
Now you got to go win it back.
Yep.
All right. Well, you got to win game 2 first.
Absolutely.
go do it tomorrow. You don't got to burn it down, but you got to be better. We do have a bunch of super chats to get to here, so let's hit those, and then we'll.
Yes,
we'll
just
wrap
because
things.
2-0 leads have been erased before.
The vast majority of the time, the team with the 2-0 lead will win
Yeah.
the series.
Absolutely.
That's how stats work. $2 from Sasha, who says, personally, I just didn't see any playoff intensity. I don't know if I fully agree with that.
Yeah, it had a weird vibe to it.
You saw things like Logan O'Connor running around like a wrecking ball. You saw Matt Nieto run some people over. You saw Cale Makar throw some big hits. You saw Nathan McKinnon and Mikko Rantanen trying to do things.
Yeah.
It just, they weren't performing at the level you wanted them to.
And it wasn't all together. I mean, I understand what he's saying there. Like, if you watch some of the other playoff games, the intensity from both teams was really elevated.
I watched Dallas, Minnesota last night. It's
Yeah.
a madhouse, dude.
Yeah. This game didn't have that feel from either team.
No.
Like, I think at the beginning, the Kraken came out, and it was like, their first playoff game ever. They're kind of running around a little bit, but then it just kind of settled off, and it was just a normal hockey game.
Yep. Pretty much, man.
Yeah.
$10 from Melanie, who says, major bummer. Good thing playoffs are best of 7. It's over and time to move to the next game. Go Avalanche. Thank you again for all you do. I enjoyed your matchup videos.
They were fun.
They were. Had a good time making them.
Everything's always really obvious until the game starts.
Yep. I think it's a little more complicated than move on to the next one. You do got to see what you can do better mechanically as far as playing against Seattle's system specifically here.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, a lot of that conversation, though, is just play better.
you're not wrong.
Right now,
you're
a
not
lot
wrong.
of it is.
$5 from Josh, who says, just absolutely pathetic. I expect them to play much, much better on Thursday and the rest of series, but this was inexcusable tonight. Pathetic.
All right.
I
A
mean,
lot of strong language
it
there.
was definitely bad. It was definitely disappointing. You definitely wanted better.
I think we're all on the same page.
If this is the worst the Avs play in the series, it's just not that big a deal, right?
Yeah.
$5 from Banks, who also gave us one in the pregame that we missed. So thank you, Banks. So many heart-wrenching, barely missed chances. I'm pissed but not worried. I thought Avs in 6, and I still think that.
Yeah, a lot of posts tonight.
Yeah,
I thought Avs in 5, and I still think that.
I thought Avs in 4. I don't think that anymore. I didn't even really think that. I just wanted to continue the tradition,
Yeah.
keeping the sweep pick. But
Well, and let's be real. We talked about this before we went live. The last 4 years, the Avs have been 16-2 in the first round.
Yeah.
They have trailed in one of those series, and it was
Calgary
the furthest one
years
back.
ago.
Yeah, it was Calgary when they were the 8th seed.
Right.
And they lost that first game like 2 or 3-0 in Calgary in game 1. And just didn't look very good.
Yeah.
And that was, to me, that's what tonight looked like. Just it was kind of a lower energy playoff game.
Yep.
They didn't look very good. They didn't look very dangerous. They didn't look very connected. They just looked kind of blah. They lose. And then, if they can respond like they did in the Calgary series, great, they'll be fine. If they don't, then they won't be.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I'll be in Hawaii next week. I've just decided I'm just gonna go now.
If they lose round 1, if they get
I'm just-
swept in
I'm
round
just
1,
gonna
you're
go,
going.
man.
You're just going.
Yeah.
Thank you for the super chat. $5 from Anthony that says, it's one game, but this was the only game all year Bedsy didn't mix up his lines. He got nothing from the bottom 9 and did nothing to get a spark odd. I mean, I think the reality of games like this when you're trailing is you need your best guys to get you through it. And Bedsy tried that. He played the ton of McKinnon and Rantanen. They just didn't get it over the line.
Who cares what their minutes ended up as?
I don't know. I'd like to see what their totals are as well. And you got into a lot of weird conversations because a lot of the mixing up you could do, you go like, well, Val's kind of playing terrible tonight. Well, Devon Toews is kind of playing terrible tonight. The guys you would normally swap in, you're going, maybe they're not the best option.
JT Confer actually has the most ice time.
Interesting.
You did see a little bit of Kale and Bo out there together.
You did.
Stuck them out there together. Some overlapping shifts there, but yeah.
But
I think you just look at what's happened in the past, though. Like, they've been successful. They have come back. You have the trust that this team can get you out of this hole, even in the third period. And it just
not great.
Just wasn't their night tonight.
Yeah.
Definitely at least part of the conversation. $5 from Wyo, who says, everybody calm down. The Avs didn't play well, and they still drove play. Longer series than hoped, but Seattle group can't keep that up either. I don't think they did a great job of driving play for a lot of this game. The ending numbers come from a little bit of the 3-1 score effects.
Yep.
Yeah.
Certainly through the first two periods, I did not love the way they pushed the puck.
They were about even in scoring chances and high danger chances.
Sure.
So they were at least keeping up. They were hanging out in the same neighborhood of quality.
Yeah.
But, cashing chances is just
it matters.
one of those things.
$20 from the incredible Drew. Not that I enjoyed watching the game, but I'm just not concerned right now. Calling Avs 6-1 Thursday. Doomers be damned.
Yeah, I mean, I thought we were going to see that team tonight.
Yep.
It's pretty disappointing not to.
It is absolutely disappointing not to. And the reality of a playoff series is you lose game one, you get the opportunity to go out and prove it in game two and game three.
This is the great thing about the best of 7 format, though, is that it's one game, and one game turns into 2, turns into 3.
Then
really
it becomes
quickly.
a problem.
But I mean, it is one where you just kind of turn the page and you're like,
but
there's a long way to go. So you think Seattle feels amazing right now? Totally.
Yeah,
they're up 1-0. They're playing with house money. But in terms of winning the series, they're sitting there looking at it going,
it's over.
We got a long way to go, man.
And the reality,
there's a long way to go.
Yeah.
The reality of the Avs winning in 5 is out there. The same way the reality of the Avs losing in 5 is out there.
Yeah, and I
Would
mean,
you say it's 50-50?
I'd say even
they
even
do
when,
or they don't.
Even when we were talking about it, it could be 4, it could be 5. Like
Totally.
We weren't expecting this to be an easy series. We didn't ever talk about it like it was going to be an easy series. It was never the conversation from any of us of, oh, this is the Seattle just can't hang. They're just not going to be able to play. Like it was Colorado star players have to be their best players. And
we even talked about, hey, if Seattle is really going to compete for winning this series, the Avs' best players need to beat themselves. And they did a lot of that tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Phil Grubauer should be extra motivated in this series.
Yep.
He should also be motivated by the fact that he signed a giant contract and has been god-awful ever since. He should be motivated by the fact that he didn't stick around in Colorado because he shit the bed for them.
Could have won a cup with this team.
Exactly. He could have been holding a Stanley Cup with this team had it not largely been for his shortcomings. He should be motivated. We'll see how he does over the whole series. I like Colorado's chances.
Me too. $2 from Degro, who says Avalanche Amber Ale is great. How is the vanilla porter? I assume
I
you
love
meant?
the vanilla porter.
Yeah.
It's really good.
AJ's been a big fan of it for a while.
Yeah, it's heavier. So.
It is for sure, but it tastes delicious.
Don't think that you're gonna drink 5 of those in a night. It's not gonna happen.
$5 from the Schick.
I mean, I don't know. Challenge accepted. Your life.
Who says the haters were right. The Avs are frauds. Rabble, rabble, rabble. This game is exactly why I always do Avs in 5.
There you go.
I love the rabble. South Park.
We all live in a state of constant confirmation bias.
Yep. Yeah. You're always right.
Yep.
Except for when you were wrong, and then you were right all along.
And then it was just the universe making sure that you were wrong. It was out to get you.
And that's the part of it is, we were wrong about the Avs showing up in this game 1 and making a playoff statement. And that sucks.
Yeah, definitely. And concerning and disappointing.
Yeah. But they've
got a game 2 to fix it.
I personally still expect the Avs to have that level of performance, but it's got to come in game 2 now.
Yep.
Guess who didn't make a statement? Vegas didn't make a statement. The Oilers didn't make a statement.
Dallas didn't make a statement.
We'll talk about this tomorrow.
Yeah,
but if I'm Dallas, I'm nervous.
Without Pavelski, we'll talk about it.
We'll talk about it tomorrow. Jason Robertson scares the shit out of me.
$5 from Candlejack, who says, I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it.
But it's why they play 7. The boys need to be roaming ready for game 2. Make Seattle call the 2 number. Go Avs, go.
That is a lot of meta.
Yeah, there's so many references going on there.
It's a very meta super chat. I'm into that.
Thank you very much, Candlejack.
Just like speaking a separate language.
Yeah, right.
Ask somebody who does not watch our show what the hell any of that meant.
It's like trying to explain buying items in a MOBA to someone who doesn't play video games, and you're like,
So this is the gear.
Yeah.
It's got the stats.
oh, dude, he's buying an orb. He bought an orb.
Yeah.
Oh, what? Look, oh, he's buying the blade's edge. What?
You lost me.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't take long, man. It's weird.
Fed finally $5 from Logan, who says, tough game at times, but chilling with the DNVR squad in the watch along made it easier. On to the next game. Yeah, it's part of the thing about the playoffs that I love is it's very simple, right? You're never looking at your next opponent. You're never looking ahead in the standings. You're looking to go out and win the next one. The only thing that matters. Go out and win the next one. So sometimes you got to take the simple path to get to where you can go, which I think is a reasonable thing for the Avs to think, because you saw a whole lot of cuteness in this game that was just not necessary.
Go. The Panthers win game 2 in Boston tomorrow. Does the Locked On Bruins podcast or whatever do
That their fans just
yeah,
melt
exactly.
down.
After a historic season, do they lose their shit?
See? They're not for real.
I might
Broad
try
City.
to find a stream just to see.
If they lose tomorrow, I'm totally gonna fire one up and just be like, "Let's see, let's see how this goes."
I'd love to see if the dudes come in there that are like, I've been telling you all year that this team, but they said they literally broke records, man. Like,
After the wins, you've been telling us
There's
this?
there's nothing you can do, man. There's nothing you can do. This team won a championship last year. This year's in pure gravy, baby.
it's incredible to me that this team won a championship and it bought them not even like a month of
We've been
Yeah.
having these conversations since November.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's brutal out here.
It's just tough, man. It's just tough.
Win or you're nothing, I guess. That's all I got. Any final thoughts from you two on tonight? No?
Not
No?
concerned.
All right. Not concerned. Go out and be better in game 2. Sometimes it's just that easy.
Yeah. Go Nuggets.
Go
Yeah.
go Nuggets. There you go. That's the take. Hopefully the Nuggets can bring some better
Yeah,
vibes.
if you guys are all big mad
tomorrow.
about this, you don't want to wait for a couple of days, just watch the Nuggets game tomorrow.
Boom.
And
Good
if that goes poorly, then sorry.
At what
Then
point?
wait another day.
At what
and then
point-
you'll have the
Bad.
abs.
Bad.
At what point is it the chat's fault for watching? Okay.
True.
You know we love you, chat. We're going to wrap this one up. We'll be back tomorrow. I think we'll probably talk more about this game and all of the games in the playoffs so far.
Yeah.
So
I can't wait to talk about Jason Robertson, man.
you've got thoughts.
I do. I went back and rewatched it bothered me so much that I went back and rewatched the game.
Wait, was he playing last game?
Yeah.
He sure did.
AJ's hard out on Jason Robertson, confirmed. We'll see you in the next one. Talk to you later.